Have you ever tried bending down to pick up your keys and suddenly felt like your joints were auditioning for a horror movie sound effect? Or found yourself standing in the middle of the kitchen, staring at the fridge, wondering what you came in there for in the first place? If you're over 55, chances are these moments sound familiar. Don't worry, you're not alone. Aging is a journey that comes with its own share of quirks, surprises, and, let's be honest, a few groans when getting out of a recliner. Now here's the good news. Growing older doesn't have to mean giving in to fatigue, stiffness, or forgetfulness. In fact, many older adults are discovering that their golden years can be their most vibrant ones yet, full of energy, clarity, and strength. The secret? It all comes down to daily habits, not magic pills, not expensive therapies, just simple, science-backed lifestyle habits that can transform how you age. That's what today's article is all about. We're diving deep into the 6 golden habits that can make the biggest difference in your health, mood, and longevity. These aren't vague suggestions like eat better or move more. We're talking specific, practical, and even a little bit fun strategies. Yes, even laughter plays a role that you can start today without overhauling your whole life. Throughout this journey, you'll meet people like Frank, a retired firefighter who thought retirement meant slowing down until his blood pressure said otherwise. Or Marcia, a grandma of 7 who went from couch potato to silver yoga queen, all with one small daily change. Their stories, along with real science from reputable medical journals and expert advice from geriatric specialists, will help bring these habits to life. So whether you're here because you want more energy to chase your grandkids around the yard, reduce joint pain, protect your memory, or simply enjoy life with more ease, this article is your roadmap. It's informative, empowering, and with a little humor sprinkled in. Because who says healthy aging can't be fun? If you find this helpful, don't forget to subscribe to Senior Health, where we make health simple, practical, and real for older adults in America. And be sure to like and comment below. We love hearing your stories and tips too. Now grab a comfy seat, preferably one you can get out of without assistance. Maybe a warm cup of tea, and let's explore the why behind these golden habits before we jump into the how. You might just find yourself rethinking everything you thought you knew about aging. Why these habits matter. The science behind healthy aging. Let's start with something that might surprise you. Aging well isn't just about avoiding disease. It's about creating a daily lifestyle that supports your body, brain, and spirit, so you not only live longer, but live better. To understand why these 6 golden habits we're about to explore matter so much, we need to zoom out and look at what's really happening as we age, both physically and mentally. And to make it a little more entertaining, let's do this through the story of a familiar American couple, George and Linda Patterson. Both 68, married for 42 years, living in a cozy suburb of Columbus, Ohio. George was a mail carrier for nearly 30 years, always on his feet, always moving. But after retirement, he slowed down. His days became a mix of sitting on the porch, snacking, watching reruns of Matlock, and occasionally golfing when his back allowed. Linda, on the other hand, took retirement as an invitation to thrive. She joined a walking group, started journaling, began experimenting with Mediterranean recipes, and took up gentle yoga twice a week at the local community center. Fast forward. In 5 years, George had developed type 2 diabetes, was on medication for high blood pressure, and often complained about poor sleep, foggy memory, and joint stiffness. Linda? She was dancing at her granddaughter's wedding in a sparkly lavender dress and planning her next trip to New Mexico with her friends from book club. What made the difference? Not genetics, not money. It was habits, tiny daily choices repeated consistently. Let's break down the science behind why these types of habits, like the ones Linda practiced, are proven to make such a big difference, and why George's path is more common but preventable. The physiology of aging. Your body isn't broken, it's changing. As we age, our bodies undergo natural changes. Muscle mass decreases by about 3 to 8% per decade after age 30, a condition called sarcopenia. Bone density can decline too, especially in postmenopausal women, increasing the risk for osteoporosis. Skin loses elasticity. Sleep becomes lighter and more fragmented. Our metabolism slows, and brain volume can shrink slightly, particularly in the areas responsible for memory and attention. And here's the critical part, these changes aren't failures. They're part of the body's natural evolution. What matters most is how we respond to them. According to a 2022 article in the Journals of Gerontology, lifestyle factors are responsible for over 70% of health outcomes in older adults. Only about 30% comes down to genetics. That's a powerful statistic. It means most of our health trajectory is in our hands. The stress-inflammation-disease triangle. What you don't see can hurt you. Let's talk about inflammation. Not the kind from a stubbed toe, but the kind that quietly simmers in your body every day. Chronic low-grade inflammation, sometimes called inflammaging, has been directly linked to heart disease, Alzheimer's, arthritis, diabetes, and even some cancers. Dr. Luigi Ferrucci, scientific director at the National Institute on Aging, describes it like this: as we age, the body's ability to regulate inflammation weakens. The immune system starts to overreact, even when there's no clear threat. That constant overreaction quietly wears down tissue, blood vessels, and brain cells. So when George skipped breakfast, snacked on processed meats, and sat for hours watching daytime TV, he was unknowingly feeding the inflammation machine. Linda, on the other hand, by walking, eating colorful vegetables, and practicing daily gratitude, yes, emotional health counts, was turning the volume down on that invisible internal fire. The role of movement. Why sitting really is the new smoking. We know you've heard this before, but let's revisit it because it's that important. Prolonged sitting is now associated with a 40% higher risk of chronic disease and premature death, according to research published in The Lancet. Our bodies were designed for movement, even gentle, consistent movement. When we stop using our muscles, they shrink. When we stop engaging our balance systems, they deteriorate. It's a use it or lose it reality. Linda's regular morning walks and simple yoga routines weren't just helping her flexibility, they were lowering her blood pressure, enhancing circulation, protecting against falls by keeping her vestibular system active, boosting her mood thanks to endorphin release. Meanwhile, George's favorite recliner may have been comfortable, but it was slowly robbing him of his strength, stamina, and cardiovascular health, cognitive health, brain cells, love a challenge, and a laugh. Here's something hopeful. The brain is more adaptable than we thought. Neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to grow new connections, is alive and well into your 80s and beyond, if you feed it properly. What feeds the brain? Novelty, new experiences, learning, travel, social connection, friends, laughter, conversation, nutrition, omega-3s, leafy greens, blueberries, exercise, even brisk walking increases hippocampal volume. Stress management, chronic stress shrinks. The prefrontal cortex, yikes. George spent more time alone after retirement, gradually becoming withdrawn. Linda joined a community choir and took an online course in creative writing, despite joking. I haven't written anything since I forged a note in high school. But guess what? She was boosting her brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF, a molecule critical for memory and learning. George, meanwhile, was slowly starving his neurons of stimulation. Sleep, hormones, and longevity. Resetting the internal clock. Sleep is often the first thing to go as we age. Many older adults experience fragmented sleep, wake up early, or have trouble falling asleep altogether. But poor sleep isn't just an inconvenience. It's linked to weakened immunity, poor concentration, weight gain, and even shorter lifespan. The Cleveland Clinic points out that older adults need 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep per night, just like younger adults. Yet many don't get it. Linda followed a calming bedtime routine, avoided screens after 8 p.m., and used lavender oil on her pillow. It works. George? He fell asleep in front of the TV and woke up groggy at 3 a.m. looking for a midnight snack. Sleep quality affects melatonin, cortisol, and growth hormone levels, all of which are critical for healing mood and metabolism. If you're sleeping poorly, aging well becomes 10 times harder. Emotional resilience and purpose. Why joy might be the best medicine. Here's a beautiful fact. People with a strong sense of purpose in life live up to 7 years longer than those who feel aimless, according to a study published in Psychosomatic Medicine. Purpose doesn't have to mean saving whales or running marathons. It can be as simple as caring for a grandchild, tending a garden, volunteering once a week, learning a new skill, writing your life story. Linda's weekly journaling helped her process emotions, set goals, and reflect on what gave her joy. George, despite having so many stories from his mail carrier days, never wrote any of them down. "Who'd care about my life?" he once shrugged. The answer, his grandchildren would. And writing could have been a powerful emotional tool to spark meaning and healing. Final thought. Before we dive into the habits, the contrast between George and Linda isn't about perfection versus failure. It's about small, consistent, meaningful choices. Linda didn't run marathons or follow fad diets. She embraced a few golden habits, practical, enjoyable, evidence-based. Science tells us aging can be filled with vibrance, mobility, sharp thinking, and emotional richness. If we actively build the right foundation, these habits are that foundation. So now that we understand why these habits matter, let's roll up our sleeves or adjust that cozy cardigan and get into the 6 golden habits themselves, what they are, how to start them, and how they can change your life for the better. The key. 6 golden habits. How Ed, Linda, and the bowling team found the secret to aging well. Golden habit number 1. Move your body like Ed moves his lawn. Mower every Tuesday morning, like clockwork. 74-year-old Ed rolls out his ancient red Craftsman mower and trims his front lawn like he's prepping for a golf tournament. Neighbors joke he's more precise than a Roomba, but Ed's not just cutting grass. He's keeping his joints limber, his heart healthy, and his mind sharp. "If I stop moving, I'll start rusting," he laughs, tapping his left knee, which creaks like an old floorboard. What Ed may not know is that science agrees with him. A 2022 meta-analysis in the Lancet Healthy Longevity showed that moderate physical activity, just 30 minutes of walking, dancing, or even yard work, 5 times a week, significantly lowers the risk of cardiovascular disease, dementia, and certain cancers in older adults. Dr. Carol Withers, a geriatric specialist at Johns Hopkins, says the body thrives on movement. It's how we're designed. Even small efforts daily act like deposits into your longevity bank. But let's be real, not everyone's a lawn enthusiast. So what counts as good movement? Walking with a purpose. Take your dog out, or walk to the corner store instead of driving. Gentle strength training. Using resistance bands or water bottles, you can boost muscle mass, which we naturally lose after 60. Stretching. Just 10 minutes of light stretching every morning can improve posture and prevent falls, a major concern as we age. Chair exercises. Yes, you can work out during Judge Judy. If you want an example of movement success, meet Sally from Portland. After retiring, she found herself watching TV for 5 hours a day. One day, she saw her reflection and said, "That can't be me." She joined a senior water aerobics class. 2 years later, she's stronger, more social, and even started dating again. A guy named Ron, who thinks he's Tom Selleck. Golden habit number 2, fuel like you're feeding your future. Linda's the kind of woman who bakes peach cobbler with real butter and brings Tupperware to potlucks, but she also sneaks kale into casseroles. She's figured it out. Healthy eating doesn't have to be boring. What we eat after 60 determines more than just our waistline. According to a study published in JAMA Internal Medicine, diets high in fiber, omega-3 fatty acids, and antioxidants reduce the risk of chronic illness and improve quality of life in the golden years. The Mediterranean diet, rich in vegetables, legumes, fish, olive oil, and whole grains, was shown to extend life expectancy by over 4 years when started at age 60. Here's what Linda's fridge looks like. Top shelf, Greek yogurt, blueberries, and a suspicious-looking jar of turmeric paste. For inflammation, she says. Middle, leftover lentil stew, arugula, and wild salmon. Bottom, a bottle of Chardonnay. Hey, everything in moderation. The key is balance, enjoying food while being intentional. Think, eat the rainbow, not Skittles, but vibrant produce like carrots, spinach, beets, and berries. Cut down on processed foods. They're sneaky with salt and sugar. Watch your protein. We lose muscle as we age. Eggs, beans, fish, and lean meats are your best friends. Hydrate. Dehydration is often overlooked in seniors and can lead to dizziness, confusion, and constipation. And no, coffee doesn't count as water. Sorry, Ed. Small tweaks go a long way. Linda even replaced white rice with quinoa and makes a mean black bean chili. My grandkids love it. They don't even know it's healthy. She winks. Golden habit 3. Sleep like a retired cat, remember. How we used to make fun of Grandpa for falling asleep during Wheel of Fortune. Turns out he was onto something. Sleep isn't just for the young, it's critical for older adults too. In fact, the CDC recommends that adults over 60 get between 7 and 9 hours of sleep per night. Yet according to a 2023 National Sleep Foundation survey, over 48% of Americans over 65 report insomnia or poor sleep quality. Let's meet Joe, a retired firefighter from Milwaukee who didn't sleep well for 30 years. I was wired for emergencies, he says. Even after retirement, I'd wake up at 3 a.m. thinking someone's cat was stuck in a tree. His sleep got so bad, his doctor prescribed melatonin and a strict bedtime routine. Within 2 months, Joe was out like a light by 10 p.m. and stopped falling asleep during church. Here are Joe's golden sleep rules. No caffeine after 2 p.m. Keep the bedroom cool, quiet, and dark. Turn off screens an hour before bed. Yes, even the iPad Sudoku. Stick to a schedule. Go to bed and wake up at the same time daily, even on weekends. Deep sleep helps regulate hormones, repair tissue, and even clear toxins from the brain. Poor sleep is linked to memory loss, depression, and weight gain. So yes, naps are good, as long as they don't replace your night's sleep. Think of sleep as your body's overnight repair team. Golden habit number 4, keep your mind lively. And laughing, when Ed and Linda aren't trimming lawns or baking sneaky kale pies, they're at the community center on Wednesdays, trivia night. The team, the Grey Matters, their specialty, 1970s TV shows and bird identification, their secret weapon. Linda's laugh. Cognitive stimulation is essential in aging. Dr. Maya Greenwood, a neurologist at UCLA, explains, the brain is like a muscle. Use it or it weakens. But combine mental activity with joy, humor, purpose, connection, and you strengthen neural pathways. There are countless ways to keep your brain young. Learn something new, piano, Spanish, or even how to use TikTok. God bless you. Play games, Crossword puzzles, chess, and even video games improve memory and coordination. Stay socially active. Loneliness is as dangerous as smoking 15 cigarettes a day, according to a 2020 report by the National Academies of Sciences. Laugh. It reduces cortisol, boosts immunity, and makes life worth living. Sally from earlier joined a storytelling class and now performs at local libraries, sharing tales from her youth in Chicago. Turns out, she says, people do want to hear about the time I got kicked out of prom for dancing the Charleston. Golden habit number 5, build a daily rhythm. You look forward. Do you know who has routines down to a science? Cats and retired, postal workers. And for good reason. Routines give life structure, stability, and reduce anxiety. But healthy routines, filled with purpose, also increase happiness and longevity. Take Marvin and Joanne, married 51 years. Every morning at 7:30, they walk around the park with coffee in hand, rain or shine. At 10 a.m., they read the paper together, then do 20 minutes of chair yoga. Afternoons are for gardening or a documentary. Evenings, Wheel of Fortune and their cocktail of the week. Last Friday, it was cherry juice and sparkling water. Fancy healthy aging isn't about major change. It's about consistent, meaningful rhythm. Morning light. Exposing your eyes to natural light early helps regulate your circadian rhythm. Scheduled meals. Regular eating patterns reduce digestive issues and blood sugar spikes. Time outdoors. Vitamin D and fresh air are your allies. Small daily joys. Music, hobbies, phone calls with grandkids. Having structure doesn't mean rigidity. It means predictability that supports health and well-being and still allows time for spontaneous fun, like an impromptu trip to Denny's. Golden habit number 6. Stay connected. People are the best medicine. When Ed slipped on ice last winter and broke his wrist, his bowling team rallied. Linda brought chicken soup. Joe mowed his lawn. Marvin called every night. And that, right there, is the final and perhaps most powerful golden habit: community. Social connection is the #1 predictor of health and longevity, according to the Harvard Study of Adult Development, which has followed participants since 1938. Not wealth, not cholesterol, connection. Ways to stay connected: join a group, a faith group, walking club, cooking class, or bridge game. Volunteer. Nothing boosts mood and meaning like helping others. Reach out. Don't wait for someone to call. Be the caller. Use tech. Zoom calls with grandkids or group texts with friends, even if emojis still confuse you. Loneliness isn't just sad, it's dangerous. But the antidote is simple: presence, attention, and effort. Like Joe says, sometimes the best medicine is a neighbor who checks on you and knows your dog's name. The daily checklist: how to actually make these 6 golden habits stick. From to-do to ta-da, Ed's pocket checklist to stay sharp, strong, and smiling after 60. It was Tuesday again, and Ed was already halfway done mowing the front yard before most folks had finished their oatmeal. He wore his usual uniform: khaki shorts, white socks pulled halfway up his calves, and that U.S. Army retired hat that had more mileage than his pickup truck. But this morning was different. Linda walked over holding a small, laminated card. "Hey, Ed," she grinned. "Check this out. I made a checklist. Helps me keep track of all the stuff we're supposed to do now that we're golden ages." Ed took it, squinted, and chuckled. Move, munch right, snooze, laugh, routine, and people. Well, shoot, Linda, if it's all on one list, I might actually stick with it. So let's walk through Linda's Golden Habit Daily Checklist, with real examples, a pinch of science, and simple daily actions you can start using today. Stick it on your fridge, tuck it in your Bible, or tape it to your TV remote. Whatever works. Golden Habit number 1. Move your body daily goal. 30 minutes of movement in any form. Checklist actions. Walk around the block or to the corner store. 10 squats while brushing teeth or making coffee. Stretch for 5 minutes in the morning. Do a chair yoga video on YouTube. Dance for one song, even if it's just in the kitchen. Why it works. According to the Mayo Clinic, just 30 minutes of movement most days can cut your risk of heart disease, stroke, and diabetes. And get this, regular movement can grow new brain cells. Yes, even if you forgot where you put your keys this morning. Real talk. Ed once tried Tai Chi in the park and accidentally kicked over someone's iced coffee. Still counts, he shrugged. Golden habit number 2. Eat for energy, not just flavor daily. Goal: 3 balanced meals, mostly plants, with good protein and water. Checklist actions: eat a fruit or vegetable at every meal. Banana in oatmeal counts. And include a protein, egg, beans, yogurt, fish, or chicken. Drink 6 to 8 cups of water. Herbal tea works too. Swap white bread for whole grain. One smart snack, like almonds or apple slices. Why it works: nutrition fuels your body. Like gas powers a car. The more real, whole food you eat, the better your engine runs. Fiber helps your gut, protein preserves muscles, and hydration supports your brain and kidneys. Pro tip: Linda has a water bottle labeled 10 a.m., 2 p.m., 6 p.m. as a reminder. I may forget to call my nephew, but my kidneys are never thirsty, she says. Golden habit number 3. Sleep like it's a doctor's order daily goal. 7 to 8 hours of solid, restful sleep. Checklist actions: go to bed and wake up at the same time daily. Turn off screens an hour before bed. Do something relaxing before bed. Read, pray, stretch. Limit caffeine after lunch. Keep your bedroom cool, dark, and quiet. Why it works. Sleep is repair time for the body and brain. Research shows that good sleep improves memory, blood pressure, and even boosts immunity, so you're not the one sniffling at bingo night. Fun fact: Joe, the firefighter, swears by lavender spray on his pillow. Smells like a spa. Or my wife's old sock drawer. Either way, it works. Golden habit number 4, feed your mind and your funny bone daily goal. At least 30 minutes of brain or joy-boosting activity. Checklist actions: read or listen to an audiobook. Do a crossword, puzzle, or trivia game. Call a friend and share a laugh. Watch a comedy. Yes, even those silly cat videos. Learn one new thing, a word, recipe, or random fact. Why it works. Neuroscientists agree. Novelty and joy keep the brain resilient. Laughter also lowers stress hormones, while social learning strengthens memory and problem-solving. Reality check. Marvin tried learning the ukulele at 72. I only know 3 chords, but I've got an album coming. Marvin unplugged, he laughs. Golden habits number 5, routine, rhythm, repeat daily. Goal: create a predictable daily rhythm with 2 to 3 small rituals. Checklist: actions: morning light exposure, sit near a window or take a short walk, eat meals around the same time schedule. A daily happy thing: gardening, music, journaling. Set aside 5 to 10 minutes to reflect or pray. Unwind the same way every night. Why it works. A 2020 study in Frontiers in Psychology found that older adults with structured routines had lower rates of depression, better sleep, and improved life satisfaction. Example: Joanne puts on Frank Sinatra every morning while watering plants. It's not just watering, it's an experience, she smiles. Golden habit number 6. Stay connected with humans, not just headlines. Daily goal: 1 meaningful social interaction checklist. Actions: call or text a friend or family member. Attend a group activity. Church, community center, walking club. Send a card or email. Join a group online or in person. Offer help. Check on a neighbor or volunteer. Why it works. Connection boosts mood, reduces risk of Alzheimer's, and strengthens your immune system. The Harvard Adult Development Study calls it the #1 predictor of longevity. Linda's trick: she has a connection jar. Little notes like "Call Cousin Ray" or "Invite Sally for tea." Each morning she picks one. It's like bingo but with hearts. Your personal golden habit. Daily card. Here's a condensed version you can write on a sticky note, index card, or save on your phone. 30 mins of movement. Eat 3 healthy meals with protein, plus veggies. Drink 6 to 8 cups of water. Get 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Do one brain or fun activity. Stick to your daily rhythm. Connect with someone. Call, text, chat. Final word from Ed's Porches. The sun set on Tuesday. Ed sat back in his lawn chair, checklist card in hand, sipping iced tea. "You know," he told Joe, "this thing ain't bad. I might laminate it and keep it in the glove box. It's like marching orders from a kinder, smarter general." To which Joe replied, "As long as it doesn't tell me to stop. Watching baseball, I'm in." They both laughed, because aging well isn't about perfection. It's about little things, done daily with heart, humor, and habit. The heart of it all. Why these habits matter more than ever. It's not about adding years to life, but life to your years. On a crisp October morning in Maple Grove, Minnesota, Ed sat on his front porch, the same porch he built with his own hands 40 years ago. The maple trees were doing their annual fireworks. Bold reds, golden yellows, leaves drifting like confetti from the sky. His dog, Rusty, lay at his feet, and a hot mug of cinnamon tea steamed between Ed's fingers. It was quiet except for birds chirping and a far-off sound of kids laughing as they walked to school. Linda joined him with her usual knit shawl and a clipboard in hand. "I printed your golden habit card on nice cardstock," she said, handing it over. "And look, I even used Comic Sans, your favorite." Ed grinned. "Comic Sans is the Cadillac of fonts. Don't let the tech guys tell you otherwise." They both laughed, but then Ed turned a little more serious. "You know, Linda, it's not just the walking and water and whatever. It's the why behind it." She looked up. "Go on." "It's this." He gestured around him, to the porch. "The trees." Rusty's gentle snoring. "I want to be able to sit out here and still know I'm here. To remember my grandkids' names, to climb stairs without wheezing, to wake up without wondering if I'll fall apart before lunch. I want to still be me, just with a few more creaks." Linda nodded. "That's what we all want, to stay, us, with all our stories intact. And that, dear reader, is what this entire journey is about. The real reason behind it all. The science is solid, the habits are clear, the checklist is practical. But underneath it all, behind every glass of water and every 10-minute walk, is a quiet, powerful truth. We're not chasing perfection, we're protecting presence. We're choosing to stay in the conversation, to keep laughing at bad jokes, to stay curious about life and generous with love. Every small daily habit is a vote for the kind of person you still want to be, sharp, steady, and deeply alive. Because when you keep your body moving, your heart pumping, your mind learning, and your soul laughing, you don't just extend life, you enrich it, and maybe even more important, you become a light for others. You light the way for others. Your grandkids are watching you. Not just how you age, but how you live. They see you choosing salad instead of soda. They notice you walking every morning, even when your knees complain louder than the weather forecast. They hear your bedtime stories, the same ones you once heard from your own grandma in 1953. And those little choices? They echo. They inspire. You become not just an elder, but a legacy in motion. One last story. Last Christmas, Ed's youngest grandson, Caleb, gave him a handmade card. It had macaroni glued to the front, crooked stars, and a big smiley face. Inside it read, "Dear Papa Ed, when I grow up, I want to be like you. You walk fast and make grilled cheese and always remember my birthday. You're strong and funny and not boring like some old people. Love, Caleb," Ed cried. quietly, the kind of tears that don't come from sadness, but from a full heart, because in the end, the grilled cheese, the walking, the memory, it all added up to something bigger, to being present, truly joyfully present, in the lives that matter most. Your turn starts today. You don't need to overhaul your life overnight. Just pick one habit and begin. Maybe it's a 5-minute walk around the block. Maybe it's replacing one sugary snack with fruit. Maybe it's calling someone you've missed. Start small. Be consistent. And most importantly, give yourself grace. There will be days you skip the checklist, days when your knees creak louder than your resolve. That's okay. Just return. Again and again. Because aging isn't about slowing down. It's about showing up. Final words from Senior Health. At Senior Health, we believe in the everyday heroes, the Eds, Lindas, and Joannes of the world, who prove that age is not a limitation, but a chapter filled with new possibility. So if this story moved you, if it made you smile, think, or even tear up a little, do yourself a favor. If you find this helpful, don't forget to subscribe to Senior Health, where we make health simple, practical, and real for older adults in America. Let's walk this journey together, with humor, hope, and one golden habit at a time.